So today we are talking about WordPress hosting in HighLevel. Hopefully everyone is aware that you can host WordPress sites in HighLevel. If you weren't aware, now you are. And we introduced this not too long ago, but the team behind the WordPress hosting has been absolutely on fire. They have made incredible advancements in just a few months, and it is at the place where it is rock solid. So when we, just a quick personal story, when we first decided that we were going to do WordPress hosting, I was like, oh my gosh, that seems like such a big task, you know, with folks like WP Engine out there that do such a great job. How are we going to compete with that? And the team felt confident that we would, and here we are, and we are there. So let's quickly talk. If we've never met, I'm Chase Buckner. I'm the Director of Product Marketing here at HighLevel. I am a former failed agency owner. I actually started an agency a long time ago with a friend, and we flamed out in an immense manner of about a year and a half. In that process, I realized I was not the CEO sales type of person, but more of an operator. And so I partnered up with a guy named Matt Coffey. We built a new agency called Customer Bloom, and we did grow that to over 7 figures. And then I had the chance to join the team at HighLevel. So odds are I have been in your shoes, whether you are new and just figuring it out, or if you are an experienced agency at the top of your game. We are here to talk about WordPress. So if you weren't aware, WordPress is used by about 43% of all the websites on the internet, which is crazy, right? What's even more crazy is any website that's using a CMS, a content management system, 65% of those sites are powered by WordPress. So their market share is absolutely dominant. And we, you know, at HighLevel, we love WordPress. We have a WordPress plugin, which I probably should have put a slide in about today. Remind me when we get to Q&A if you have questions about the plugin. But WordPress usage has increased on average of 12% per year since 2011. And so the stats are crazy. WordPress is the dominant CMS in the space. And so odds are your clients are using it. Your future clients are hosting on WordPress. And the current market cap is about $25 billion when we talk about WordPress hosting. So it is a big business when it comes to hosting a client's WordPress site. WordPress is also my best agency product. So as a quick story in my past, it took me way too long to realize this. I remember being 4 or 5 years into our business and doing an audit across the business. And I was actually going through our WP Engine account. And I don't know if it's still the same way, but we had to buy them in blocks of 100 accounts at a time. So it was important for us to go and clean out dead sites to make room for new ones before we had to buy another block. And as I was doing that, I realized that we had hundreds of websites that we were hosting for folks. We were charging $50 a month for hosting and like a half an hour's worth of updates if needed, hundreds of them. And many of these clients were old clients who had churned, meaning we were no longer collecting services revenue from them, but they were still paying their $50 a month hosting bill because it was a utility. And that was a big light bulb moment for me. If we were smart, we would have seriously sort of reevaluated our offerings to focus more around what we were doing with WordPress hosting and how to expand on that. And for me, HighLevel, when I was introduced to HighLevel in the early days, that's where my head went. I was like, this is WordPress hosting 2.0. And so hopefully if you haven't, if you're not taking advantage of the business opportunity of hosting WordPress, hopefully today's presentation will get your mind heading in that direction. Again, we're talking about a $25 billion market. And where's that going? That money going right now? It's going to hosting providers like these, right? I'm sure lots of you in the audience right now are hosting with folks like these that you see on the screen. But the good news is that you can now take a piece of that pie. You can take that revenue for yourself by hosting HighLevel inside of WordPress. In fact, we've made it really easy for you to compete. Check this out. When we compare HighLevel from a pricing standpoint across the basic plans of other top hosting providers like HighLevel, WP Engine, and Kinsta, you win, right? So you can go compete on price right now. But not only that, on statistics, you know, we've got a lot of the others beat in areas like visitors, memory, things like that. So you should have no problem. I mean, in my experience, a client does not know any of what any of this means. So again, they don't even care. They trust you to make these decisions. So now instead of saying, hey, I need you to create an account on Kinsta and send me the logins, or instead of you doing that for them and paying Kinsta for that, you can now do it in HighLevel and keep that revenue for yourself. So before we dive in here, the first thing I want to point out that the team has done is massive infrastructure improvements. And so we have gone from average install times of 7 minutes down to 30 seconds. The SSL certificates are generating really fast. I don't know what the exact stat is on that right now, but it's super quick. When you host WordPress in HighLevel, it's going to run through Cloudflare CDN, Content Distribution Network, which means the actual files are being served up from the closest physical hub around the world to the person going to the site. So sites are even faster. They provide some security elements there as well. So you get the benefits of Cloudflare on top. We've got backup and restore. So if you need to roll back a site, no problem. And we've got an import tool, which is awesome. So the import tool, the speed of that has gone from about 30 minutes to import a site from another host into HighLevel to under 10 minutes. So in under 10 minutes, you can migrate WordPress sites from wherever they're currently being hosted to HighLevel. And then we've made massive improvements when it comes to the latency. So the infrastructure side of things has never been better. It is rock solid, ready to go, and we make it really easy for you to go ahead and just import sites from wherever they're currently hosted. Let's talk about some of the existing features that exist right now inside of HighLevel on the WordPress side of things. We've got that all-in-one plugin that I just talked about that makes migration really easy. So you install the plugin, configure a couple of things, we'll suck the site, all the files right over. I do see another question. This is being recorded. If you joined a little late, we will send out the recording to you via email tomorrow, so don't worry, you'll have that. Recent addition, SFTP access. So if you've been working with a website, you know how important this is. Sometimes you need to get in through the back end. You've got that access now right there inside of HighLevel. Plugin management. You can actually manage plugins, keep them updated, all of that right from within the HighLevel dashboard. So you don't have to go into the WordPress site to do that. And same thing with themes. So you can keep your themes up to date right from without having to leave HighLevel to make those updates. You can also delete WordPress sites right from in the HighLevel dashboard. And you can manage users. So you can create new users right from within the HighLevel dashboard without having to go into the WordPress site. We talked about the free backups and restoring a backup. So if you do blow something up, I've been there multiple times, and the easiest way is, hey, let's just roll this thing back to the way it used to look like yesterday. You can go ahead and do that. And then you can also manage the cache. So oftentimes when we're using things like CDNs, you make an update and you don't see it reflected on the front end because you've got a cache situation going on. You can go purge the cache from the back end of HighLevel now, and then you'll see the latest update on the front end. This one, PHP Muscle, I have no idea what this means. It sounds like a security feature. Hopefully someone from the team is here and they can follow up on what that means in the chat, but I'm assuming it's something pretty cool. These are just a couple of screens. So to give you an idea of what it looks like, Jeremiah, purging caches is my favorite pastime. That's hilarious. In the dashboard, you can see these are just a couple of screens like FTP access. If you needed to get in via SFTP, this is what it looks like. Plugin management, you can see plugins listed over here. If you need to make a change over here. Same thing with themes, very similar. If we needed to delete a site, we can do that. A couple of safety steps in there to make sure you don't delete something by accident. And again, you can manage the users here. So, oh, and here's the cache, Jeremiah. So you can spend some time in here and purge those caches. Let's talk about what's coming. So in the near future, we've got some awesome updates coming to the WordPress hosting side of the world, including visitor data analytics. So we're going to start showing you charts around visits, unique visits, all that kind of stuff right here in on the HighLevel side of things. Health analytics, so memory usage, disk usage, CPU, all that kind of stuff. You're going to see that very soon in HighLevel. Mailbeam, this is another one. I have no idea what this means. Sounds pretty cool. I'm assuming it has something to do with emails that go out of your HighLevel sites. But again, hopefully someone from the team can jump in there. And the ability to support multiple installs within one HighLevel sub account. So we've seen that request a lot already is, hey, my client has more than one WordPress site. I want to manage them both in this sub account. And so you'll be able to do that very soon as well. WordPress debugging mode, which is pretty cool. I don't know exactly what's going to be involved in that, but I can see how valuable that's going to be to be able to debug without having to leave HighLevel as well. And then domain management enhancements. So there's a lot that we're going to be start working on with domains. I'm not going to go too far into that because a lot of the details are still in flux, but imagine a world in the very near future where you will be able to automatically set DNS records right from within HighLevel and not have to actually go to the DNS to make those updates. We definitely are on a mission to make it really, really easy to get a site up and running as quickly as possible. So you'll see things like that to start to roll out soon as well. Staging and dev environments are coming, which is great, right? We're heavy users of staging, of course, and so you'll see that as well. And then here, some of the screens are actually ready. So some of this is really close. So we can actually take a look at what it's going to look like. So as you can see here, you've got stuff like analytics in addition to some of the stuff that we just checked out. Visitor reports. So again, we're talking about views to the site, things like that. Some traffic type of metrics in there. But let's talk about what it costs. So there are 3 plans available on the HighLevel side of things. If you want to just do the simple pay as you go per month, it's $10 per month per site, which again, we already saw is super competitive within the market. So it makes it really quick and easy. However, if you have lots of sites, here's where you can really start to save. We actually have an unlimited plan. So for $350 a month, you can move an unlimited amount of WordPress sites over into HighLevel and manage them here. So for someone like me, a couple of years ago, when I was running our agency and we had hundreds of sites, it was a very hefty bill that we were paying to WP Engine, and we could have saved a ton of cash if we had an opportunity like this to move those over. There is an asterisk there, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But we actually have an unlimited annual plan where you can save even more. So instead of, if you do the math of 350 times 12, that would be $4,200 a year. You can actually save even more, $3,500 a year. And again, you can move unlimited amounts of sites over. So that should be a fantastic opportunity for many of you to save. This is sort of what it looks like in the dashboard when you go to the WordPress hosting section, where you can choose which route you want to go with. And then I did want to point out that disclaimer, right? So the asterisk is about the fair use policy. So this is what we consider to be fair use. So most of the sites that I hosted for clients were well within these limits. We had a few heavy hitters, and those heavy hitters we would have probably kept somewhere like Cloudst or Kinsta anyway, because we were hardcore SEOing those sites, and we had some really, granular stuff going on over there. So totally understand if you've got heavy hitter sites, you're probably going to keep them where they are. But for the large majority of your clients, you can probably save a ton of cash and recoup that revenue for yourself by sliding them over. So let's talk about the 3 ways that you can resell this and profit from it in HighLevel. So first off is just that $10 a month, right? So in your agency account, you have the opportunity to set your own hosting price. So let's say you wanted to charge $14.99 here. That's what your customer would pay per month. And we would charge you $10. Therefore, you're profiting the $4.99. In the sub account side of things on the right, this is what your clients would see. So they could navigate themselves to WordPress and say that they want to create an account there and sign up for that $10 a month. So that is option number 1. pretty easy, pretty straightforward. You name your price, we do the math, you get the difference, and your clients can sign themselves up for it right within their location. Option number 2 is in SaaS mode. So if you are on the Pro plan and you're in SaaS mode, you can actually add WordPress to your configurator and make it a part of your SaaS plan. The third option is more of sort of like a manual mode where you can just basically say, deploy a WordPress install into this sub account and charge me the $10 because I'm covering it in my blanket fee. Maybe you're running on invoices or whatever, and you've got that covered, and you just want to launch the install there. And so you can see on the right hand side, you can just make that happen by spinning up an install and covering it on your own manually through however you're billing your client. So there's 3 ways that make it pretty easy. And again, if you're on one of those unlimited plans, you're going to profit way more than anything over the $10, right? You just do the math there. So if we're going to have a ton of time for Q&A here, because this is one of the last slides, but I did want to make sure everyone knew how to get started with this if you are interested in taking advantage of these offers. In your agency account, you just head to the Reselling tab, and then you'll see WordPress on the right-hand side there, where you can choose the option that you want to get started with. And then below that, there are some more options that we just kind of talked about there. So if you're interested in checking it out, you can turn it on right in your app right now. You can get started. You can start importing sites over. You can spin up new installs, all the things that we just talked about, or you can reach out to our team. So Alyssa's here. I'm sure we have some other team members in the chat as well. If you all just want to say hi in the chat so that folks know that you're here. And if we could drop, there we go, speak with us/consult, you can hop on with that team who can answer more questions about getting started with WordPress in HighLevel. But hopefully you are as excited as I am about this, because again, those recent infrastructure changes, I think, really was a quantum leap on our end and put us right where we need to be to go compete with anybody on WordPress hosting. And now with the unlimited pricing options, agencies I know are going to save a ton of cash and profit a lot more off of this. And again, I do want to reiterate that WordPress hosting is essentially a utility bill. It's one of the stickiest products that you can offer. And so if you're not making a good margin on that, hopefully this is a great opportunity for you to take advantage and open up a bigger revenue stream for your business. All right, so I see a bunch of comments in here. I'm going to scroll back. Actually, I'm going to go to the Q&A comments because that's probably a little bit more organized. Let's see here. Can an existing website be transferred? Absolutely. So we've got the WordPress plugin, and you can just install it on the site, configure it, and then it sucks the site right on over. And you should be able to go to help.gohighlevel.com and just search WordPress to get a step-by-step help doc on that. So no need for GoDaddy or Cloudflare. That's right, John. So instead of hosting with GoDaddy, which I would definitely move away from, you can host the sites right in HighLevel. If you're talking about domains, that's different. We can't yet buy domains right in HighLevel, but soon you're going to be able to push DNS updates through to the domain registrar DNSs without having to leave HighLevel. So I'm looking forward to that. Will we be adding some features that Fly will have, like the one-click auto restores or auto backups? Those are lifesavers. Yeah, absolutely. So in addition to the stuff that we talked about today, there's a lot of updates coming to WordPress hosting. And oh, Reshma's here. Cool. So let me unmute Reshma. She's the product manager for WordPress hosting. Reshma, do you want to say hi?
Yeah, hi everyone.
Everyone give Reshma a welcome. She is the one running the team that's making all this magic happen. Reshma, are there any other awesome updates that are coming that I didn't have in the slides that we can talk about?
Okay, so I saw one thing about database access for PHPMyAdmin. So that's just in this slide. So that also we will be bringing it up by somewhere around June, July. And one more thing that I got asked is about the staging and dev environments, and that is already in a roadmap, and we would be uh, putting it in production by June. So yeah, those are the two updates.
Great. David, I just saw your question here about Beaver Builder. Yeah, so your builder is everything remains as it is. You're just moving the site from one hosting provider to another. How does hosting WP with GHL work with automations for funnels, such as using miscall text back? I'd love to move clients over, but I don't want to have to rebuild all the automations. Nothing should change because, well, I'm assuming you basically took a HighLevel phone number and put it on the WordPress site. When you move the hosting, nothing changes. All those site files are the same. So whatever you have as the phone number is going to be the same. So you should be all good there. This reminds me about the HighLevel WordPress plugin. It's called Lead Connector. Again, that's our gray label, so you don't have to expose HighLevel to your clients if you don't want to. You can go install the Lead Connector plugin into a WordPress site, and that gives you a couple of really convenient options. The first is being able to add the HighLevel web chat widget to a WordPress site without having to do code. So you install the WordPress, you toggle it on, and the chat widget will appear across the site. So that's a really easy no-code way to add the HighLevel website widget to a WordPress site. The second thing that it enables you to do is publish a HighLevel page. And yes, James, you can do that right now. You can publish a HighLevel page onto the root of a WordPress site. What do I mean by that? Typically in the past, let's say, and give me a high five emoji in the chat if you've been in this scenario. You've got a client with a terrible website, but they don't want to pay for a new one. It's a WordPress site, but they want you to do marketing. And you're like, look, we need to build you a landing page because your site's not going to convert. So you use HighLevel to build a beautiful landing page, but then where the heck is it going to live? All right, well, we'll put it as a subdomain, right? So it's like offer.clientsdomain.com/offer. Not exactly ideal. Well, with the WordPress plugin, you can actually just publish the HighLevel page onto the root of your client's WordPress site. So it's your client.com/offer. Again, you can do that right now with the Lead Connector plugin inside of WordPress. And we've got a lot of fun updates coming to that plugin as well. Reshma's team is already working on an awesome one where you're going to be able to use the plugin to launch HighLevel pop-up forms. So hopefully you have seen that you can build forms inside of HighLevel, and now you have the option to embed them as pop-up forms. Well, now you're going to be able to add those pop-up forms to a WordPress site without having to deal with code, just like the chat widget. So cool, a lot of cool updates are coming on the WordPress plugin side of things. Again, it's called Lead Connector. I don't know if it's one word or two words, but try them both. You'll find it inside the WordPress plugin library. Cool. So let's see what other questions that we have here. We just talked about that one. So nothing should change if you move a site from wherever it's being hosted into HighLevel WordPress hosting. Do we get access to a cPanel type interface for file manager, database, PHP, and stuff like that? We are not going to do cPanel, correct, Reshma?
Not for now, Chase, not for now.
Not for now. We're going to build in the options that you mostly need right into the HighLevel experience. And now you've got SFTP, so hopefully you can get to everything that you need to get to. Jeremiah, staging sites are already in the works. Reshma, did you say July-ish for the staging sites?
So staging and dev, it would be by June.
June, awesome. There you go. Todd, I have like 30 sites I want to move. Is there a discount? Yeah, Todd. So if we go back to the pricing option, you can, for $350 a month, you can move as many sites as you want. Again, as long as they meet the fair use policy, which I'm sure that most of them, if not all of them, will. Is there support for migrating into HighLevel? Of course, just go in app, hit the support chat there, or you can go to speak with us/success to hop on with our support team live in Zoom whenever you'd like. And yeah, we're here to help. Subdomains are imported as well. Jeff, yeah, so that's just the domain settings that are configured within the WordPress site, right? So none of those files actually change. We just move all of that over. And so yeah, nothing will change on the domain side. Kayleen, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. What if we have existing subdomains? Does the plugin and everything else work for those as well? It should, yeah, give it a try. Sherry, can you set up development environments? Yep, we just talked about June. You'll be able to do that. Staging and prod, same question, Ryan. Sean, how easy is it to receive for us to convert the current website built in HighLevel to a WordPress website? That functionality doesn't exist. It's sort of one or the other, right? And I love to offer a templated option or 2 or 3 built in HighLevel, because that's super easy for me to manage. If I were running a website shop today, and then I would have sort of like a fully bespoke, robust option that I would probably still build in WordPress. Obviously, there's nothing you can't do in WordPress. So that's the way I look at it, but we don't have a way to say, okay, turn this HighLevel site into a WordPress site. And kind of why would you want to, right? And then you're just incurring a cost for yourself, whereas HighLevel sites, hosting for those are included in your plan. Subdomains we talked about. Todd, what about the regular WordPress admin side? Yeah, of course. So you log in and that's still there. Who hosts, where are the sites hosted that are managed in HighLevel? HighLevel does. They're managed in HighLevel. Todd, so what is used to create pages? Well, you can log into the WordPress site to create pages, or again, you could build pages in HighLevel and then through the plugin push them into onto the domain. Kevin, are there plans to host other platforms, i.e. Webflow? Not at the moment that I'm aware of, but if we see it start getting tons of votes in the ideas board, then we would certainly consider it. And so hopefully everybody knows that in your agency account, there's a tab on the left that says ideas. If there's something that's missing from HighLevel that you want to see happen, go over there, search it. If somebody's already suggested it, give it a vote. If not, add it to the ideas board, because that is how we basically form our roadmap. We listen to you and listen to what you all want and that's sort of what informs the order that we do things. So if you haven't checked out the ideas board, definitely head over there, give it a scroll and give an upvote to anything that you see in there that you also want to see happen. Todd, for 350 a month unlimited sites, is that unlimited across all sub accounts? Yes. Who is providing technical support if something burps or hiccups? We do. So just reach out to us, hit the live chat in your account, and we'll be happy to help. Tasha, how can we sell just the WordPress hosting for those that won't be signing up for SaaS? We have a bunch of SaaS clients using WordPress, so that's easy. But if I wanted to offer the WordPress hosting for those, yeah, totally. So again, just go into, let me find the screen. Oops, am I going the wrong way? I might be. You just go into your agency account, click the rebilling tab, and yeah, and on the right-hand side, you'll see WordPress. You can go set your price. And then once you enable it, you can actually go into the sub account and override it. So if you want your default price to be like $14.99, like we see on the screen here, but you have a specific client that you want to charge more or less, let's say your standard is 20 and you have a client you want to charge 15, you can go into their sub account and override the setting there. All right, JJ, is there a plan to do a default plugins feature like you can with WP Toolkit? I think that means, JJ, like managing all plugins, like update all. I don't know, Reshma, is that on the roadmap?
Not for now, but we could definitely look into this.
Cool. So yeah, JJ, if that's something that you definitely want to see happen, all auto installing plugins. How does that work? Because you have to, oh, I see what you're saying. Like, hey, every time I build a new client site, I always install these 10 plugins. Got it. Cool. So yeah, I would say hit the ideas board with that and rally the troops to vote it up, and we'll make it happen. All right. Linus, was looking forward to move all my clients from SiteGround to DHL, but I am paying $400 a year for unlimited hosting with SiteGround. Well, you can pay $350 a year at HighLevel, and the more sites that you add, the better of a deal that gets. But it's totally up to you, Linus. Hopefully we can save you some cash and make your life a little bit easier. Jeremiah, will HighLevel WordPress hosting ever work with HighLevel custom values? I don't know the answer to that, but that's interesting. I do know when we first started talking about whether or not we should build WordPress hosting, we did have some conversations like this of like, oh, this actually might open up the opportunity for a really tight-knit integration between the two. So I don't think it's on the roadmap right now, Jeremiah, but it's not out of the question. So again, I would hit the ideas board for stuff like that. And if we start seeing it pop up, we'll move on it. Would this be branded with my business or called HighLevel Hosting? Yours. So HighLevel's white labeled, right? So when they log in, they see your branding. And then when they go to sites, WordPress, it's all within your branded experience there. Tom, can you show the upcoming feature slide again? Yes, let me go back to that. Oops, here it is. Oh, Reshma, what is Mailbeam?
Okay, so currently we have this Mailbeam plugin general availability, which is there. So we don't have the mail options within WordPress for now, but that is what we are planning to do with this Mailbeam plugin.
Got it.
It's completely white label as well. Yes.
Cool. Newman's asking if he needed to access the WordPress database, he would just reach out to us, correct? Reshma?
For the WordPress database, yes, but for all the other files, they can access using the SFTP itself. Right.
Cool. Doug, will HighLevel templates be able to become WordPress sites? That's interesting. It's definitely possible. I would say, again, get that on the ideas board if it's not there already, and get that voted up. That sounds like a cool idea. Timeline estimated for staging. Reshma said June, Jeremiah. David, if we're paying a monthly fee for multiple sites, if we move to annual billing, do the monthly plans come with it? Yes. Where would we, anonymous, where would someone purchase the domain if it can't be done through here? You could purchase domains all sorts of places. I like to buy domains in Google Domains or Cloudflare. Both of those make it really easy to do path redirecting and stuff like that. So I would say check out Google Domains, or probably Cloudflare is probably the best place these days. Another anonymous, is the support the same as HighLevel, or do you have a separate support team? Yeah, like we have a team within our support team that handles all WordPress questions. So sort of the same, but it's the same channel for now. Are there any video tutorials for how to install WordPress? I want to build a site for my own agency. Yeah, just go to help.gohighlevel.com. But it's actually really easy. If you just go into your sub account and go to sites WordPress, you can hit get started. Dan, why not migrate to HighLevel sites versus WordPress? People can migrate away from HighLevel WordPress sites. We're sticky with HighLevel sites. Yeah, Dan, I mean, totally, I'm all for it. Like building HighLevel. But again, I totally understand the fact that there are a million different reasons why you might continue to build a site in WordPress because of the insanely complex capabilities that the ecosystem offers. But yeah, for me, if I were to head back into the agency world today, I would have probably 3 templated options built out in HighLevel with some basic customizations. And then if you want a fully robust customized site, it's going to be thousands of dollars, if not tens of thousands of dollars. Whereas my WordPress sites, I would sell as websites on demand for whatever, $297 a month forever. You stop paying, the site goes away, just like your Netflix account. That's how I would do it. But of course, there are a million ways to skin a cat. Nina, we have been trying to reach out to your support after we've signed up, but we can't reach you guys. Email and phone. Is there a way we can reach out to somebody? Of course, just log in and hit the live chat icon or hop on speakwith.us/success. And you can hop right into a Zoom room and we'll be happy to help you out. I was told there would be cookies. Who's got the cookies? Please distribute via the chat. Eric, so domain plus email provider plus WordPress plus HighLevel are all different billings for the client. What is the best? Yeah, see, SaaS mode, Eric, solves all of this, right? So, well, not domain. Domain's not yet. But SaaS mode bundles this all up into your software offering, right? And so I would say if you haven't checked out the Pro plan and SaaS mode, that's where you want to head, because you create your plans, whatever you want is in there is included. Somebody buys that plan, we spin up the account automatically, set their permissions automatically, create their user with their permissions automatically, send their logins automatically, monitor their billing automatically. So if they stop paying, they get locked out. All of that stuff happens with SaaS mode. So your client's just paying one bill, and then they're paying for usage of phone and SMS and email with their wallet, the crediting system that's built in. So it's really seamless. It's an insane opportunity. And that's why we are super pumped on SaaS mode. If you're here and you don't know about SaaS mode, please reach out to us in any way, which shoot me an email personally so that we can let you know what's going on. And as sort of a little insider intel, you're going to see SaaSpreneur.com launch in the next month or two, which is going to be a whole new program around SaaS mode and getting into the model. So we're working on that right now, and we're really excited for that to roll out. James, does elegant themes? Yeah, themes, nothing changes. That's all on the WordPress side of things. We're just talking about where the files are hosted. Steve, will you be introducing professional email inboxes, including within the hosting? My website hosted on SiteGround currently have professional emails as well. Probably not, because we have the lead connector phone system built in. Professional email is, we leave that to the Googles and the Outlooks of the world for now. But again, if it blew up on the ideas board, we would certainly consider it. Let's see. Wow, this is a cool name. I'm going to try to pronounce it because it's cool, but if I butcher it, I'm really sorry. Kolowole. Did I get that right? What happens to Google ranking when you do a migration? Impossible to answer. Probably nothing. Possibly an improvement. When you host WordPress and HighLevel, it's super fast. And again, you get the benefit of like Cloudflare CDN and stuff. So I would suspect you'd probably see an improvement. Melissa, what's the advantage if building a client site? Okay, so we kind of talked about this, Melissa, right? Hopefully you've got a good answer for this by now. I would probably offer both, but obviously building in HighLevel is really easy with snapshots and custom values and all the things that we can do there. But I totally understand that in certain scenarios, I would still build a site in WordPress as well. James, I need to upload a chat widget for an Australian website. Do you have a video for the lead connector option? We do. Just go to help.gohighlevel.com, but essentially just go to plugins in WordPress and search for lead connector. Latoya, 24/7 support. Yeah, I believe we're at 24/7 now. There might be a little window late night over the weekend, but I'm assuming we'll close that gap soon as well. The lead connector uses iframes. How does that affect SEO for the landing pages? Good question. I don't know the answer to that, but Jacob, most of the time when I was building landing pages, I was driving paid traffic to them, so it didn't matter. We didn't index them anyway, so probably won't be a big deal. Patricia, are there email account options for clients? So we just talked about that. Through HighLevel, no, outside of Lead Connector. Bryce, was the ability to put the funnels or landing pages from HighLevel on the root domain a current feature of the Lead Connector plugin or coming soon? Current feature, you can do it right now. Check it out. Max, will this be as managed WP hosting? So if something doesn't work, we will help you fix it. Absolutely, Max. We've got your back. Marcelo, can I also host website if my clients use Wix? No, this is just for WordPress. So if they're on Wix, I would get them off of Wix. But that's up to you. Joseph, is email going to be available? Okay, we talked about email. Nope. Jonathan, where can I find more in-depth training on how to build and transfer WP sites and set up analytics? Just head to help.gohighlevel.com, Jonathan, or hop on speakwith.us/support. It's really easy to transfer sites in. And analytics, anything you have set up should continue to work because, again, nothing's changing within the files. We're just changing where they're hosted. Oops. Jessica, if I have WooCommerce shop set up, yep, nothing changes. We're just changing the place where the files are hosted. What theme would you recommend to use to build in WordPress? Melissa, that I don't know, but I've been out of the game for a bit, but there were a lot of suggestions in the comments there. And especially if you go all the way to the top, depending on what time you joined. But it sounds like Elementor is a very popular builder these days, as well as some others. Oh man, that refrigerator is really loud. Hopefully you guys can't hear that buzzing. Okay, so we are coming up on an hour. Let's take, we've got like 10 more. We've got a lot more questions, but hopefully we can get through about 10 more. Mike, will you offer a service for helping a layman like me in building a few templated websites? So on the HighLevel side, Mike, we've got you. There's a template library full of hundreds of sites, if not thousands by now, that you can just launch with a click of a button. You could also, if you hit up YouTube and like how to build a website in HighLevel, there's tons of people from the community that have done stuff like that. Or hop on with speakwith.us/success and we can help you with specific questions. But that's on the HighLevel side of things. We don't really have tutorials on how to build stuff in WordPress. So hopefully that gets you where you need to go. Tasha, so I would be manually signing them up for their HighLevel account in my agency, I guess, since they're not signing up for SaaS. Yeah, however you're selling the client, you would continue to do that, but you can turn on WordPress billing. So you might have to be on 297, I'm assuming, to do this, right? Because now there's rebilling on 297. So basically when you activate that, it turns on a walleting system in the sub account where they have to put in a credit card. And then they can pay for SMS, they can pay for email, and pay for things like WordPress. So hopefully that makes sense. If not, hit us up so we can walk through it. Melissa, I want to build clients for hosting for sites I make with the HighLevel builder. Is that possible in SaaS mode? As a part of your SaaS plan, absolutely. Another way to do it would be to use invoicing. So hopefully everybody knows in the payments tab, you can now create recurring invoices that work really well. So you could spin up a hosting invoice. You could send it to them in a text message or an email. You can turn on Apple and Google Pay so they can literally like scan their face and pay, and then that subscription will just run. So there's a couple of ways that you could do it, Melissa. Jack, can we integrate a Shopify hosted website into HighLevel? Integrate, yes. Host, no. Shopify sites are hosted in Shopify, but we do have a native integration so that every time a purchase happens, we create a contact record in HighLevel. You can trigger things in workflow builders. There are Shopify specific custom values that you can use in things like emails. So check that out. Head over to help.gohighlevel.com and just type in Shopify and you'll get a bunch of info. Todd, is there an agency level dashboard? So I wanted to add a plugin to everyone's WordPress site across all sub accounts. Not yet, Todd, but if that's something you need, add it to the ideas board so that we can take a look. Kurt, did you say that we can spin up new WordPress sites within HighLevel? Absolutely, you can. Give it a whirl. I did it a couple of weeks ago. It was quick and easy. Kristen, so if you have a client that wants email addresses associated with their website, no. So like real root email addresses, you would do that like you do right now. I recommend everyone to go to Google and create a G Suite or whatever they call it these days. And those records are handled in your DNS. It sounds like a bunch of you are running email through hosting providers. In my opinion, is probably not the best idea, but I get it. But yeah, I would have my clients being setting up their email in something like Google. Joseph, are there plans to provide an update feature for core plugins? I think that's already there, Reshma, right? So we do plugin management now in the HighLevel dashboard.
Yes, we have that already.
Cool. Joe, are there limitations to plugins? Yes, we do have a blacklist of plugins that you can't install. I don't know. Do we have a help doc for that, Reshma, where people could review that?
Yes, I have it. I'll post it in the chat.
Great. For example, is it possible to build a WordPress headless app to auto-generate blinding pages? No idea, Joe. You just went way over my head with that one, but you'd hit up support and we could give you a better answer. Eric, I have white label plans, so I can just raise my prices and include all that. Correct. Marcelo, so you're saying I have to migrate them to WordPress. If this was the Wix question, then yeah. Is SEO better on a WordPress hosting site over a HighLevel template site? Impossible question to answer, Hassan. There are so many factors that go into rankings, and it all depends on what you're doing on both sides. So, you know, I go into the Facebook group and you'll see HighLevel websites that blow doors off of other competitor platforms, and vice versa. If you go build a super clunky site in HighLevel, it's not going to rank as well as something that's been properly SEO'd on another platform. So tough one to answer. Cecilia, are we getting the recording? Yep, we'll send it to you tomorrow. Daria, for clients using Wix, what workarounds can we use? Well, as far as I know, you can drop custom scripts on Wix sites, right? So you could add HighLevel forms, HighLevel pop-up forms, the chat widget, all that kind of stuff. You'd just be doing it with code. We don't have a Wix plugin or anything like that yet. James, if you go to Google, would you have to revamp their emails? You would have to update the MX records, but that would be something that Google would help you out with. Joe, sorry, landing pages. I can't remember the context of that question. Sorry. Melissa, is there any way to get access to the back end of a HighLevel site as we can with WP to custom code? No, but again, you can add custom code and JavaScript and CSS. But if you need back-end access for some reason, just reach out to us and we'll be happy to help. Okay, cool. That was the last question in the Q&A. And I know that Reshma and the team have been answering questions in the chat. We will email you the recording of this tomorrow. So you'll have that, don't worry. But thank you so much to everybody for hanging out and asking so many questions and interacting. This has been great. I love the WordPress community. And so hopefully you all are excited about WordPress hosting in HighLevel, and hopefully that can be a great opportunity for you to generate more revenue for you and your agency. I see a lot of questions about email. Again, email is not part of this. So if you are hosting WordPress sites with a hosting provider that is also providing email addresses, I would look into that before you move the WordPress hosting. You're probably going to have to still pay them for the email accounts, right? I hope I made that clear because I saw a lot of questions about email. Will we be considering Editor X integration? Adante, you will be absolutely psyched probably next Monday. Hint, hint. We actually rebuilt the HighLevel website and funnel builder. And we took a lot of inspiration from Editor X. So that should roll out into beta next week. And we're super pumped on that. And hopefully you all will be as well. Yeah, it looks really cool. It's pretty sexy, I'm not gonna lie. And then once that gets out, that was a big project. Once the new builder goes live next week, then all the new updates to builder will start to roll out, like the slider and some really cool other elements that are right around the corner. Cool. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody, for hanging out. We look forward to helping you migrate your WordPress sites over, save some cash, and open up a new revenue stream through WordPress hosting and HighLevel. Have a good one, everyone.